Good old emotional eating. You are feeling frustrated, ashamed, guilty, embarrassed, and quite frankly, you're really sick of this vicious cycle and you don't know how to stop it. I completely get it, ladies. I've been in the exact same position that you were in, and so were so many of my clients. In fact, I used to be 30 pounds overweight myself. So stick around because today I'm going to share with you how we can conquer emotional eating. Hey ladies, I'm Angelica. Welcome to the Fit for Life channel, where busy career-driven moms get fitness, nutrition, and wellness tips on a weekly basis, so make sure you go ahead and subscribe. So first things first, when we dive into emotional eating, we really need to first understand where, when, why, and how these patterns and cravings are coming on. So you're gonna wanna go ahead and grab a pen and paper and just jot down some notes as we're going through this so you can actually start to think about times when you're finding yourself in those emotional eating bouts. I know for me, it definitely comes on when I'm super stressed out. If I had a super stressful day, I run a company, I work with a lot of different clients and employees. So for me, it's like I'm just walking to the kitchen, I'm digging my hand into a box of gluten-free crackers. Well, that's not the worst thing, but eating a whole box is not going to serve me, right? So think about the different situations and times when you may be emotional eating. So first things first, identify that, okay? What am I craving, right? When is it happening? What am I doing? Who am I with? Did I just, get off the phone with my mom? Is that a trigger? Did I just speak to my boss? Did I just yell at one of my kids? What's bringing on the emotional eating? That is the first thing you need to identify. So in order to break the pattern, we need to dig to the root and we need to find the trigger. So just paying attention to all these things I just listed, those are gonna be some of your triggers. Now, these are some of the questions that you can actually write down and start to work on. And remember, this is not gonna happen overnight. This is something you're gonna wanna work on week after week after week. You probably have been emotional eating, stress eating for years, right? So it's not just like in a week, you're going to break a lifelong worth of patterns and habits, right? But baby steps, okay, ladies? So this is what I teach in my program, and make sure you stick around to the end because I'm gonna give you a super simple tip that you can basically use anywhere. So first things first, what am I craving? How do I feel emotionally? How do I feel physically? So just right there, by checking in with yourself and saying, how do I feel emotionally? Like you're already thinking like, wow, I'm super stressed or upset right now. So I'm not even hungry, right? I shouldn't even be eating. So just checking in with yourself, like, how do I feel emotionally? How do I feel physically? Like, is my stomach growling? Am I a little nauseous? Am I lightheaded? Because those are physical hunger cues. So when you're emotional eating, if you don't have any of those physical hunger cues, that's gonna signal to you that, hey, like, I'm actually not even hungry right now. This is just all emotional. So pay attention to the difference between the emotional cues versus the physical hunger. Okay, so after you've identified some of those patterns, now you need to disrupt. So in order to break down emotional eating and move past this, we need to disrupt the patterns. You're like, okay, great, Coach Ange, what the hell am I gonna do to disrupt the patterns? And this is exactly what I teach the women in my program, and this is so helpful. And they're so similar to you. They're busy working moms, so they're doctors or lawyers or nurses or real estate agents, and then they come home, they have a family, and their stress levels are super high. They're just so busy, and they're not pouring into themselves, which leads to this emotional eating, right? But they've found these tools really helpful. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is write down this acronym, and it's HALT, HALTT. So when you find yourself in these emotional eating situations, you're gonna wanna stop and say, am I actually hungry? So that's the H. Am I angry? Am I lonely? Am I tired? Or am I thirsty? Now, of course, there's a plethora more of emotions, but just remembering this acronym, it's gonna help you so much because maybe lonely can lead to sadness, but just for the sake of keeping it simple, we have the HALT. So when you're finding yourself, deep into that thing of ice cream or bag of chips or whatever it may be that you're eating, HALT, which actually makes you stop. So think of it, like you can even put little Post-it notes by the food that you tend to emotionally eat. And that's gonna be another thing I'm gonna tell you to do. If there's certain foods that you notice that you eat more often in your emotional states, out of sight, out of mind. So don't buy it. I'm not saying never buy it again. For me, it used to be peanut butter. I used to just eat, I'd be upset and I would eat it. I would go through like a half a jar in one sitting and honestly made me sick. So I stopped buying it for a little while and I got myself more in check with my emotions. Once again, this took some time. How did I get myself in check with my emotions? I started journaling more. I started meditating more. I started walking more. I just started being more mindful of how I feel. So you actually have to pay attention to those things. All right, ladies? So halt is the first thing. And then second, I'm going to tell you to remove certain foods that could be triggers for you. So if it's peanut butter, if it's chips, if it's ice cream, I just would not buy it for a little while till you really get yourself more in tune with how you feel while you're eating. It's not to say don't ever eat ice cream again, don't ever eat a brownie again, don't ever eat the chips again, but it'll help you at least curb the emotional eating when you're finding what those trigger foods are too. So take a little step back from it and really assess how you feel. Next thing I want you to do is when you find yourself in this emotional eating situation, remove yourself after the halt and do an activity that doesn't involve chewing. That could be phoning a friend, reading, going for a walk, doing some stretching or foam rolling. I know you ladies are probably super tight and stressed, so stretching is going to be great for you. Reach out to me on social media. Send me a message on Facebook, Angelica Ventrice. I check my messenger all the time. So send me a message like, hey, Coach Ange, watch your video. And you said if I felt like I was going to emotionally eat, I could reach out. Please reach out to me. I am here to help. That's what my clients do as well. That's what how I train my coaches to also help their clients, because that is a pattern disrupt. Just reaching out to someone right there, you're disrupting the pattern. Do something that's going to burn a little more calories. One other thing that is really useful to help with emotional eating is to actually just make sure you're eating enough during the day. So many women that I speak to, a lot of the busy career-driven moms in my program, they're working all day long, say they're real estate agents, they're showing houses, or they're a doctor, and they're just not eating enough during the day. So we make sure in our program that we teach our clients to have the meals prepped. Take snacks with you, take meals with you, because if you don't eat enough during the day, and then you come home and you walk into the house and the kids are there and you're stressed out, of course you're just gonna go grab something quick and just shove it down, right? And that's not gonna make you feel good, and that's what we're trying to avoid. So the more you treat your body good, right, the more you fuel your body during the day from the moment you wake up till the time you get home, it's gonna help with that emotional eating, trust me. So eat a lot of macronutrient dense food during the day, real whole foods, salads and lean proteins and lots of veggies and fiber that's gonna fill you up. So that way, when that stress comes on, you're able to recognize that you're stressed and your first go-to isn't to go grab food. Does that make sense, ladies? Drop me some comments if this makes sense, if this is all resonating, if this is helping. This is just such a big thing. It's so prominent, and I really want to help you guys with this. So it's just really, really important to remember the HALT acronym, okay? Remove the trigger foods, and then remember to eat enough during the day so that way when you get home, you're not sitting there emotionally eating, boredom at night, stress at night, whatever it is, because you're already full, you're already satiated. So this comes with being a little bit more prepared. If you're a busy, career-driven mom, you need to do meal prep. That's the bottom line. Now, I'm gonna do a whole nother video on meal prep, but I really hope that this video helped you guys out. Feel free to drop me some comments and send me a message on Facebook, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.